good? Whar Gwarn? What's good? Whar Gwarn? Yo, tell me why you looking at me and my dog. Tell me why you looking at me and my dog. And approach man like, what's good? Whar Gwarn? What's good?
This is Tootbox Media. The show is Whar Gwarn and I am Ciaran Calam. And guess what? You are most likely living in a computer simulation, meaning that everything you see around you is actually not real and nothing but zeros and ones in a computer reality. If that sounds crazy, then I invite you to watch this video to find out why. Also, if you approve of the video, then please like the video, leave a comment, and also subscribe for future content. First things first, video games along with movies, books and other forms of entertainment are simulated realities, and that's why we love them. They allow us to temporarily remove our consciousness from this boring dimension and visit a whole new world of possibility. Now, 40 years ago, video games looked like Pong and Pac-Man with basic ass graphics, basic ass sound and basic bomber clock gameplay. However, over the years they've evolved to the point where we now have near photorealistic graphics, detailed physics, high quality sound and huge sprawling worlds with open-ended possibilities. Now, all sciencey techie people pretty much agree that given a long enough period of time, whether that's 50 years, 100 years or maybe even 1,000, we'll eventually have the technology to create video games or simulated realities that are indistinguishable from actual reality. Simulations so realistic that if you were actually inside one, you would think you were in the real world. What's more, they also agree that due to advancements in medical research and hence the understanding of the structure and function of the human brain/body, they'll be able to populate these simulations with perfectly replicated conscious human beings. We're talking about a computer simulation in which we have self-aware entities walking around, entities who look just like me, just like you, and have exactly the same abilities and attributes. Entities who can live, learn, love, laugh, reproduce and die but are made of digital zeros and ones instead of fleshy genetic DNA. This could be done for historical reasons, like to study what life was like for our ancestors, or to run alternate history scenarios, or maybe even just for entertainment purposes too. But either way, the term for this stage of our development is technological maturity. Now, the simulation argument says that one of these three possibilities is true. Option number 1. Civilizations tend to extinct themselves before they reach technological maturity. That either due to war, disease, asteroidal impact or God knows what else, civilizations and hence us are doomed to die before they can create this kind of tech. Personally, I think this is possible, but unlikely. Option number 2. Civilizations don't kill themselves and do reach technological maturity, but always decide against creating simulated realities. Maybe they decide it's unethical to create artificial beings and expose them to suffering, or maybe they just get bored of the whole concept. Now, I don't know about you, but from what I've seen in my years of existence on this planet, human beings always push the boundaries of technology as far as they can, so I find it hard to imagine technology like this existing but not being implemented. Even if it was illegal, somebody somewhere would still use it secretly. Option number 3. Civilizations do reach technological maturity and do create simulated realities. Now, if this were to happen, the number of realities that we could have is endless. Firstly, you could engineer a simulation to ensure that 1 billion years took place over 10 minutes and just keep running the thing again and again and again with different variables to affect the outcome. Secondly, there's no limit to the number of concurrent simulations that could be running at any one time. Just think of how many millions of copies of Call of Duty exist in the world, and then realise that Call of Duty is just one game out of tens of thousands. Once simulated realities are here, they would quickly outnumber the base reality that seeded them. But then get this, if the number of simulated realities far exceeded base reality, then that would mean it's statistically unlikely for us, and by us I mean me and you, to actually be living in base reality. It implies that our reality is also a simulation, because if we on Earth only ever ran 10 simulations, then there would be 11 realities that we knew of which we could say that we were one. Now, we could definitely state that we created those other 10 realities, but how the hell could we know that we hadn't been created ourselves? The conscious entities in the simulations that we created would believe themselves to be just as real as me and you, and would be equally as dumbstruck to find out that they were living in a hard disk as we would be. The thing is that when it comes to base realities, there can be only one. So with that in mind, what are the odds that we're living in it? What's more, there'd be nothing to stop the inhabitants of our simulations from creating their own simulations, meaning that you could have simulations running side by side with other simulations, all of which were nested within another simulation, which in turn runs parallel with other simulations inside another simulation, and the whole shit just goes on and on and on and on in perpetuity. There's no end to how deep that rabbit hole could go. Billions of simulations, each one filled with billions and trillions of conscious humans, monkeys, spiders, ants and Donald Trumps, all living their lives from birth to death without the tiniest clue of the true nature of their existence.
Great Scott.
I know, this is heavy.
So what are the implications of this? See this dude right here? That's Elon Musk. He created PayPal, runs Tesla, wants to get mankind to Mars, and is one of the smartest human beings on the planet. Yo, Elon, what's the likelihood that we're not living in a computer simulation?
1 in billions.
Come again?
1 in billions.
One more time for the masses.
1 in billions.
Shit. So that means it's statistically improbable that the world we're living in is real. That everything that's ever happened, every war that was ever fought, every nation that ever perished, every animal that ever evolved, every religion that ever crucified its messiah, every selfie ever taken, every kiss that was ever kissed and every heart that was ever broken, all took place in a computer simulation. None of it was real. The whole thing is and was bullshit, a lie, a fantasy. My whole life is just binary code in a 33rd century supercomputer. No. Nah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I mean, sure, the logic is almost impossible to argue with, but this flies in the face of everything I've been brought up to believe, and my ego doesn't like it. Nah, this is bullshit. It's bullshit, it's quackery, it's pseudoscience, and I'm going to reject it outright without giving it further thought. My life is real, okay? And you know how I know that? You know how I know my life is real? Because I pay taxes, I have a mortgage, and I work a fucking 9 to 5 that I hate. Okay? I'm a responsible fucking adult and I do what I'm told. Fuck this bullshit, fuck this noise, and fuck you, Ciaran. Let me go put on the Kardashians.